Hi, I'm Mitch Shoemaker, and today is day 81 of my making 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on gratitude. So, yay, I made it to day 81. It's very exciting for me. 19 days to go, getting closer to that 100. I'm like, yes, I might actually do this, which is so funny because like 10 days ago, I was ready to totally give up. So, it's amazing to me how my attitude and mood and things change, especially when I choose to journal. And I wrote in my journal last night. Yay! I'm very happy with myself for doing that. I've only got like 4.5 hours of sleep, so I'm a little crazy today. But I'm trying to do a new schedule, although apparently I can't seem to go to bed earlier. But I can get up earlier, and maybe I'll be tired enough I'll actually go to bed earlier tonight. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I met with my friend today, which I'm very grateful for, and she is helping me put together a little board of stuff to, I don't know what you call it, like if it's a vision board, a goal board, just a self-esteem board, just a reminder board. Basically, it's just like a list of things that I've come up with, that I've read, I've shared before, about myself, like positive things to remind myself the good things about myself instead of the negative things, which I'm grateful that I have a list like that. And just some random quotes of things that I like or that have meaning to me, like my favorite scripture and things like that. And then kind of like a why I am doing all the things that I'm doing, like my purpose, my reason for going every day. Because sometimes I forget that I have goals, I have reasons to behind doing stuff. And when I came home and made my little why list, because we didn't finish everything today, because it clearly takes way longer than I imagined it was going to, and my friend is way more talented with like how to make pictures and designs on computers than I am, so I'm very impressionized with her work, and I'm excited to show everybody when I get my little board done. It looks, I'm picturing in my mind how cool it's gonna look just from the pictures that we did, and it's not even put together yet. But it was fun, so we'll try to finish it next week and see what happens. But I came home and I made my little why I do everything list. And the first thing I put on there is because I want to feel better about myself. And I thought that was really interesting that I put myself first, because I haven't put myself first most of my life. I've always put other people first. I've always been taught to put other people first. I've always heard that scripture, love thy neighbor as thyself, and it's like, love thy neighbor. I always seem to think that people forget the as thyself part of that, because how can you actually love your neighbor if you don't love yourself? And I don't know, because I feel like whatever I'm giving is hollow or shallow, because I'm expecting the same in return, or I'm expecting something in return. So I don't get as much out of giving because I have that expectation of something in return, and I don't usually get the something in return, or I get something, it's just not fulfilling somehow, or it's not what I expected. And then I get disappointed because it's not what I expected. Instead of learning to be grateful that I got something, I'm like, oh, it's not what I wanted. So I just reject it. And I was like, okay, but it might have been what I needed. It might have been a really good thing. And I just, rejected that. I think I did that a lot after my divorce, and people, showed love and kindness, and they were trying to help me and encourage me to work through things. And I just was like, nope, I don't want your advice. I don't want your help. I don't want your love. I'm like, I, I wanted all those things from my ex because I didn't want my divorce. I wanted things to work, and now I can look back and be grateful. I'm like, I'm grateful I'm not with him and who he's chosen to be right now in his life. I'm grateful I don't have to put up with any of that stuff. I'm like, I deserve so much better, but I couldn't see it at the time, and I just couldn't believe other people when they were telling me, because even though they could see me a little more clearly than I could see myself, I didn't see myself clearly. I didn't believe that I was lovable or worthwhile. I believed that it was my fault, that I'd failed somehow and I had to fix it, and I couldn't fix it, which meant I was a failure. And those were the lies. Those were the lies that I told myself. Those were the false beliefs that I had about myself. They're not things that people ever actually told me. They're just things that I internalized, things that I deduced from the situations in which I was in, that it was somehow my responsibility to fix everyone and everything, and that included myself. And if everyone and everything was okay, then I was okay. And my whole self-esteem was based on that. And if I couldn't fix the relationship, if I couldn't fix other people and other things, then I was a mess. And that's that's how I saw myself. And I don't see myself so much that way anymore. I'm learning that it's not my responsibility, other people's problems and situations, and that it takes two people to make a relationship work, and both people have to be willing to put in the efforts. And sometimes it's not even. Sometimes people put in way more than others, and so it's a give and take. It's a back and forth, and sometimes one person needs more than the other, but you got to find a balance somehow. And I have not learned and or mastered any kind of balance like that. And I don't know how God does it, because I swear I'm always the one that's needy and taking and taking, and he's always giving. And I feel like I don't do very much to show my gratitude to my Father in heaven for all the blessings that he's given me. And then it's like the simple things I do, like these videos and like my journaling and all those things, keeping the commandments, whatever it is that I'm doing. It's like, and then I get immediately blessed, and I'm like, it is so, so uneven, but he has so much to give, and so much healthier and better and more knowledgeable than I am. And he created me. I'm like his creation. And to me, that's, I don't know, it's kind of cool, because in creating books or creating other things, I'm like, I see the imperfections, and then I think it's not good enough, and other people don't see the imperfections, or they like the imperfections because it makes it unique and special. And I'm starting to realize that God sees me that way, as unique and special, that I am unique and special. And so I like that my first reason for doing everything that I'm doing is to like myself better, to feel better about myself. And then my second one, of course, is to see myself the way that God sees me. And I mean, eventually I get a little further down. I get to, want to build my house, become a published author, build my own house, live debt free, some other things. And, eventually to be able to share everything that I've learned, everything that I have with other people, because I don't need to keep it all to myself, because it's, the more you give away, the more you get, kind of a thing. So, I mean, but others are at the bottom of my list, and myself is at the top of my list. And I'm grateful for that, because I am grateful that other people are still on my list, and that they're still a part of my life, and that I do care about other people. I'm just grateful to realize that I care about myself, and that myself can come first. And that's okay on my list. I think I'm still struggling with not feeling selfish, or being aware that I still care about other people. I'm grateful for other people. I'm extremely grateful for my friends, the ones that are supportive and helpful, and for my friend that's helping me with this board and putting together my stuff. And I'm excited about what it's going to look like when it's all done. And I'm like, hey, and then it's going to be something for me that she's helped me create, to take the images in my mind and my crazy all over the place, and put it into one little place that I can look at and be reminded of every day. Or when I'm feeling depressed or discouraged, or I just don't want to do anything for the day, I can just sit there and stare at that board. I can just read all those things on that, and it will uplift me, because they're all uplifting things. They're all truthful things. They're all positive things, things that I'm grateful for. And every time I make these gratitude videos, it improves my attitude. Because just focusing on the gratitude and seeing how wonderful things are in my life, it makes me grateful. And then I feel energized and motivated, and I want to do more things to show my gratitude to God for everything that I have. And so I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful that I can see myself a little bit more clearly. Like that image of myself, me and my little imperfections, but that's what makes me unique. I like that image of myself. But it's also true of other people. It's what makes them unique as well. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for insights into other people, especially people from my past and relationships, and seeing that they did the best that they knew how to do with the situation. And maybe it wasn't what I needed or thought I needed. And maybe they just weren't aware, or they just weren't capable of doing or giving more. But we're all growing, we're all changing. And, I was mentioning to my friend that someone in my past was like that, and then they changed, and other people saw them differently, and they had a different relationship with other people. And I was grateful, because I realized that I wasn't jealous that they had that relationship with other people. I was grateful they could have that relationship with someone else, even if they didn't have it with me. And as I was thinking about this video, I was thinking, this is why we need to not judge other people and remember that everyone can change, because I'm trying to change. I'm not the same person I was. All these experiences in my life have changed me. Even just doing these gratitude videos has changed me, or at least changed my perspective of myself and things. And I'm grateful for that change and that shift. And it also means that different people have different personalities. So just because I don't get along with someone doesn't mean you won't get along with that person. So we need to all get to know each other individually and decide for ourselves how we like those people or persons or whatever, and if we can live with their choices or not, if we want them to be a part of our lives or not. And there's some people I just don't want to be a part of my life because they've just done things that it's like, okay, I can forgive that they did those things, but I can't really forget. And I just don't feel comfortable around them because of what they've done. And I'm okay with not having those people in my life, not putting myself in a situation that feels dangerous to me. I don't need to do that anymore. I don't have to put myself in uncomfortable situations. And if I'm uncomfortable, I can leave, I can change, I can speak up for myself. I'm still not good at that last one, speaking up for myself. I'm much better at like avoiding and hiding, and I've done a lot of that. But today kind of reminded me that I don't need to hide, and working with someone else was actually really great, because my friend would point out stuff and come up with things, and I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. That is so cool. I like that idea. And so we were able to bounce ideas off each other, and I think that just makes things better, which I think works also with my writing, which is why I write the book and then I send it to beta readers, because I need opinions from other people. I need ideas. I need to bounce stuff off of them. And it's not so much, I mean, a little bit seeking approval from other people because I want them to like what I'm doing. But at the same time, I like to know that other people are understanding what I'm writing and that it's the best that it can be. And the best that I can make it is not the best that it can be if I work with other people, if I get feedback and make changes based on that feedback, it becomes even better. And I become even better by feedback. So I do need other people in my life. I do need feedback from other people in my life. But it can be positive feedback. It can be, positive, I don't know, criticism always seems like such a bad word, um, but it can be words of encouragement and self-improvement or suggestions of ideas. And I have the choice to say, okay, I like that or I don't like that. And it's okay if I'm different from what other people's opinions or voices are. It's okay if I don't get along with or see people the same way that other people do. I have a different personality. I click with different people. It's okay. And I'm learning that this is okay. And I'm grateful for the things that I'm learning, and I'm grateful for the shift in my perspective, especially about my perspective of myself and my false ideas and false attitudes that I've internalized. And it's kind of cool that as I realize that they're false and they're not real, that the power they have, the hold on me, that the deep embedded hold that just seems like impossible to let go of is actually like, it's loosening its grip. It's melting just a little bit. And I don't feel it as much as I used to. And it's easier to overcome. And I'm really excited about doing this board. And in the meantime, I probably just need to read through my list of things every day. And it only takes a couple of minutes to read through it, but it's just a nice reminder of who I am and why I'm doing things, and that I'm worth it, and that I'm capable of doing all the things that I have set out to do, all these goals that I've set. I can do them. I can accomplish them. I may need some help from other people to do it, but I can do it. And it's going to take way longer than I thought it was going to, but it's a process, and I'm grateful that I'm learning the process. Not always happy with the process, but I'm grateful that I'm learning the process. I'm grateful that I can work through these things, and I'm grateful for the changes that I'm seeing in myself, especially in my attitude and my willingness to move forward. So I think God had some divine purpose in inspiring me to make these YouTube videos, because this obviously is not where I thought I was going with them, but I think it's turning out to be something better, at least for me, and hopefully it's more inspiring and better for the people that are choosing to watch these videos. And so I'm grateful for that too, for those insights and realizations, and that life doesn't always turn out the way that I want. But I don't have to give up on my goals or my dreams. They just may turn out differently, or they may change because what I desire changes as I change, and my focus changes too. So I'm grateful for the shift in focus. I'm grateful for the changes that I am making, even if it's just, emotional ones. And it's gonna take time for all of this stuff to sink in and to change, and it may be a lifelong process. I don't know. But I think as long as I'm always focusing on gratitude, I will always see new things to be grateful for. I will always view people in different, better ways, and I will view myself in different, better ways. And I will continue to grow and to become better. Or I will learn to accept myself for who I am and where I'm at, and just be like, all right, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And if nothing else, I will at least get to know myself. And that's a great thing, because I'm discovering that I'm kind of a great person, and I'm fun to be around, and I'm not boring. So I don't always do fun and entertaining things because I don't like doing things by myself, or because I have monetary or physical restrictions, just because I'm out of shape, overweight and out of shape. So I just don't have the energy to do things. Um, but I think that as I start changing those things as well, that I will start branching out and doing or experimenting with more things. So I'm grateful for that too. And I'm grateful for everyone that's choosing to listen to these. And if you like, hit like, subscribe, share, send them to other people you think will benefit. And I hope you have a day full of gratitude.